Welcome, lovely collective, to your general timeless reading. I will begin your reading with crystal and turban seashell scrying, symbolic cards, tarot, and oracle as well. Let's go ahead and roll, lovely collective, and see what Spirit has in store. Holy Spirit, Holy Divine, all who are with me in the highest divine realms of love and truth, ask that you please give me clear understanding, clear communication, and interpretation skills to bring forth the most loving, truthful information that Spirit wants you to know most. Thank you. Spirit is bringing me to the cards first. Okay. That's a little out of order, and that is just fine. We're going to do what Spirit guides. Which one is it? This one? Okay. So we're going to start with the tarot. Spirit, Holy Divine, what are you wanting to tell the collective, please, for this timeless reading? What does the collective need to know? What does the collective need to know? Okay, cards are not coming out yet, so that's telling me there's something that's been going on here for a while. We'll see how long it takes for them to come out to give me a better idea of the time frame. Okay, so for some of you, this could be like the past year or 2 years, somewhere in through there. A few of you, maybe 3 years, okay? So what do we have? Reverse or upright? Upright. We have the Emperor. And we have Seven of Swords. Something about strategy here. What I'm getting is for some of you, let me make sure. Spirit is the Emperor. Is this the collective? No, that's what I thought. Okay. There is someone here who, and I'm feeling it intuitively. I know it's not in reverse, and it came out in reverse, but Spirit wants me to read it in the upright. But I'm feeling like some kind of controlling type energy and the need for strategy with a particular person. Okay. This could be someone who's very controlling, very bossy. For some of you, it could be an actual boss or supervisor type role, somebody who would be like in an authoritative role. Could be someone who is like military, that's been in the military for, like years, and that would have a very controlling. I'm not saying all military are like that. I have to tell you what I'm getting. For some of you, it could be someone who has been in the military. I'm feeling military, okay? Very strongly, intuitively. But again, that's not for everyone. This person could act as if they are someone who has been in the military. Very, things have to be this way and only this way. It's the only way things can work, this way. Could be someone with some kind of obsessive compulsive disorder. Has to be like this, only this way. Could be someone who has signs and symptoms of narcissistic personality disorder. Could be someone who has some sort of chemical imbalance to the brain or signs and symptoms of that. My disclaimer, I'm a retired nurse. I can only speak of signs and symptoms. I cannot diagnose nor treat. Okay. And I am not doing that. No diagnosing or treating here. There's something going on. Someone, I'm feeling like God complex. Someone who has like a God complex. And when you're around this person, it's like you have to continually, you see how this person is looking over their shoulder? You got your swords drawn, okay? This is representing you in this reading. So it's like you've got your swords drawn. And if you see, look, it's like you are facing the direction of this Emperor. So it's like constantly having to walk. It's like walking on eggshells when you're around this person. Having to always be prepared what you're going to say or how you're going to react. And having all the tools ready you need. And anytime you're in this person's presence. This could be someone's parent. Doesn't have to be actually a male, okay? It can be a father. Does not have to be. This could be a female in the male energy, okay? This can be a parent. But yeah, it's like having to always walk on eggshells, having to always be ready. It's giving me a feeling of dread coming around this person, but this person's in authority somehow in your life, or has been within the past, again, some of you 3 years, most of you the past 2 years. Now, there could be an instance, if this is a parent, of course, this could be, entire lifeline type thing. But for most of you, I'm feeling 2, possibly 3 years dealing with this person. Or you could have walked out of this person's life 2 to 3 years ago. But there's something going on here about, it's like I'm hearing the word jittery. So it's like feeling jittery around this person. Okay, Spirit, where would you like for me to go? Continue with this deck? Yes, okay. Tell me more about this Emperor and Seven of Swords. What's going on here? Whoa, hold on. I just had some that fell on the floor. Okay, so we have the Four of Wands that came out with the Knight of Swords and the Two of Wands. Okay, let me see what we got here. So this is clarifying the Emperor and the Seven of Swords. Give me just a moment. So some of you, it's not going to be for everyone, but some of you could have been married or in some kind of commitment with this Emperor. So again, this Emperor could have been either someone who you were in a romantic relationship with. This could have been a friend only. This could have been a business partner. For some of you, it could have been a parent, or it could have been, like an uncle, an aunt, grandparent, something like that as well. But something that you had some kind of commitment to, some kind of responsibility to. But then I feel like with this Knight of Swords, that's kind of like a rushing in energy. I feel like that is you, collective. Actually, it's like, I feel like I'm hearing the word savior, okay? So I feel like a sense of the divine kicking in and saying, okay, enough is enough of having to feel like you have to walk on eggshells when you're around this person. It's time for you to use those tools, those swords. Stand in your truth. You should not have to look over your shoulder anymore. Okay? I feel like that's what this is, rushing in. So whether you've already experienced that or you're getting ready to, there is this sense of guidance rushing into you about this commitment. This commitment could have made you feel very happy in the beginning. But over time, you started getting clarity. The sword is drawn. And now with the Two of Wands, it's like decision time. Continue to stay in the situation. Continue allowing yourself to walk on eggshells, or to step out into the world and take a whole new path. Okay, Spirit, give me more, please. Give me more, please. Tell me about the Emperor and the Seven of Swords. What's going on here for the collective? Okay, all of these? Yes and yes. Okay, reverse upright, reverse. And what do we have? Yeah, see the Ten of Cups in reverse. This, whatever this is, did not bring you happiness. And I'm going to put this here because we have these two that came out together. Okay. All right, Spirit, same order? Yes. Okay. So what do we have? Yeah. Look at this. Queen of Cups and the Empress came out together. Okay. See, collective. Okay. This is some kind of toxic relationship. No matter who it is, could have been a work relationship, whatever this is for you. This was toxic. This made you feel like you could not be yourself at all. Always having to look over your shoulder. This was not happy family vibes at all. And Spirit's saying you're supposed to be, and it doesn't matter what gender you are, okay? But you're supposed to be in this Empress energy. This Empress energy, this is someone who stays grounded, stays focused. The Empress is all four queens, but especially this Queen of Cups, and I'll get to that in a minute. But she's all four queens in the tarot deck combined. Okay, so she has all the intuition, all the knowledge, all of the like the go-getter energy, the fire to pounce on opportunities when need be. Also very motherly, very nurturing, very creative. Okay, someone who's always giving birth to new creations, whether it's an actual child or just giving birth to new opportunities, new endeavors. And see, look, you have this white dove here. So that is telling me there is something in this situation where Spirit is guiding you, or if you've already stepped into this energy where you've had to walk away, or you already have walked away from the situation, this was something that was divinely led, because it was like the situation, yes, you were meant to be in it to learn lessons, okay? To put those tools in your tool belt for later. And I say that because the Queen of Cups. Now, for me, intuitively, the Queen of Cups, this is someone who has been through a lot, okay? This is someone who has basically, since childhood, went through so many different situations and challenges that not only did they learn a lot, but they also had to have a lot of trial and error. They had to figure out what worked and didn't work in different situations. They had to take that information, stick it in their tool belt, and don't you know, here comes another challenge. It like that, for many, many years of this Queen of Cups life, until one day, all of a sudden, you hear the siren confirmation. Until one day, this Queen of Cups, she is after a lot of time goes by, she realizes, okay, I have all this knowledge that has brought me a lot of compassion. So because I have been through all of these challenges, and I know what it feels like. Okay, so now when I see other people that are hurting, that are going through something similar, I can reach them with my heart, and I can say, you know what? If you feel like you need any advice, let me know. I don't have all the answers, but I can tell you what didn't work for me and what did. What resources to reach out to, how I overcame this situation. That's the Queen of Cups for me. Okay, so that's why I'm saying, although this situation may have felt made you feel very anxious, okay, could have been very traumatic for many of you, it was something that was spiritually like a soul contract in the beginning, okay, before you came here into this lifetime, for you to experience, so you could become this Queen of Cups energy, so that part of your purpose and mission can now be to help others heal, okay, to come at people in a lot of compassion and love, and to be that person that when someone's really hurting, if they come to you looking for advice, that you can be genuine and they can feel your love coming straight from you, okay? And you can be very comforting to those who need it, okay? So, yes, I mean, that's a very beautiful thing, collective. Um, but yeah, you're supposed to, it's like spirit saying it's now time for you to be in this empress energy, okay? um but more so focusing, allowing the qualities and recognizing the qualities of the Queen of Cups, what I just described, um to allow those to shine, okay? It's time to let those shine. Use these past experiences that did not feel good to help people, okay? That's very beautiful. Okay, where would you like for me to go for the? Oh, we're still going with the tarot. Thank you, Spirit. For those of you that are new, if you're wondering why I'm putting my hand over the cards, it's because I feel like it's like electricity voltage. So that's how Spirit connects and lets me know which deck. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, and what else? Yeah, see, look, we have the devil energy. So this is definitely something that has, at some point, made you feel bound, chained. Let me see. I can't show, these are males, but I still can't show this like up close. So I can't like show you up close, but there are like two people at the bottom that are, they're real tiny on the picture. That's why I would have to show you up close. But there's two men at the bottom, and they're chained. They have shackles on. Okay. And yeah, for some of you, it could be a Capricorn. It could be like a low vibing Capricorn type energy or an earth sign. But I'm more so I'm feeling more of the chains, the shackles here. Okay. All right. Continue with this deck. Yes. Okay. Thank you. What else for the collective? The divine wants you to know that, okay, so for those of you that are getting ready to make this decision, this is your confirmation, okay? The devil card is your confirmation that when you make this decision, it is okay to walk away. For those of you that already have, it's a confirmation that you made the right decision, okay? Thank you, Spirit. What? Okay, whoa, we have Ace of Wands. See, a brand new passionate beginning. That is, okay. So what I'm getting with that, going back to this Queen of Cups and this Empress energy. So I feel like what Spirit's saying here, so once you've been through the situation, like we already talked about, right? You've gained your knowledge, your wisdom, and you have evolved intuitively. And now you went through all these challenges. You know what it feels like. You went through the hurt, the pain, the traumas, all that stuff. And so now you can actually start this brand new journey with passion. It's like the passion that's within you, the things you actually lived, and you can actually help people. Okay. That's what I feel like is happening here, because see, also with this card, and I'll give you a good example. With this card, you see this piece of wood, first of all, is covered in gold. Okay. Now, this is hot lava. This gold should be melted, but it's not. And second of all, wood should not be growing in the midst of all this hot lava, right? So with this deck, what I get here is it's like you bringing some kind of fire, some kind of passion out of something that should not even exist. Okay, so the best way that I can describe this is, I'm going to use myself for an example. So I was a nurse. I still am, but I'm retired. But when I was working, I was a nurse for several years, and I went through an accident. Okay, so after the accident, up until that point, I had gained a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom, a lot of compassion. right? Because I had seen people suffering, seen people in a lot of pain, and, had to do a lot of critical thinking very fast on my feet for what was best for that person in emergency type settings, things like that. So when actually I was in the accident, I'm now retired. I can't do that anymore. But it's like this brand new passion arose out in me that never existed before. And that's what I do now. It's not just tarot. I do so many different things. And yes, some of that is based on medical, because a lot of visions, especially like if I have to do personal readings, a lot of visions, things like that I have, there will be medical things that come through, such as I may see a pill floating through the intestines, or I may see like someone's knee on the inside. Okay. And so I know if I'm looking at a vein or if I'm looking at an artery. So all those things are important, and I can give them a heads up, because I can't diagnose or treat, but I can give the person a heads up because I have that experience as a nurse. You see what I'm saying? So some kind of experience that you have been through, and it could be, everything combined up until this point, because mine is too, it's like all of this wisdom and knowledge now getting ready to actually live your passion, live what is in your heart, and feel like you're being fueled every day that you get up to live this passion. Okay. And it's putting these tools together when it should never have existed, or at least it didn't exist before. And now all of a sudden, it's like it makes sense. It makes perfect sense. Okay, I love this for you. Okay, continue with this. Yep. Okay, thank you. Okay, tell me about this Ace of Wands, please. What is this Ace of Wands for the collective? What is this Ace of Wands? Collective, this is beautiful. I am so excited for you, and I'm so proud of you for standing in your truth. Okay, reverse or upright. Reverse, and we have, okay, Two of Swords in reverse. So what I'm feeling is actually is that the days of not the days of illusion are done. When you get to this point, wherever you are on your timeline, when you get to this point where you're ready to go after your passions, your desires, you feel like you are just like inside, it's like your heart, your stomach, everything within you is just burning, ready to get going. Okay, when you get to that point, if you haven't already, it's like that's because that all these, any kind of illusions, anything, this could be like past things you were told that you're finding out are no longer true. It could be like, things like when we go through, when we're kids, it could be certain belief systems, just different things that were told over the course of life. And then as we live it, we start realizing, we wake up to the fact of, wait a minute, this kept me always looking over my shoulder. I did not like how that felt. That was not a good feeling. That is not a loving feeling. Things like that. I see the truth about this Emperor now. So now I know which direction I need to go. I don't need to be shackled anymore and chained and bound. It's time for me to break free. And even though this may be, something that goes against the norm, maybe it could be something that, people think, wow, this is really weird. This shouldn't be something that happens in this day and time. This is too futuristic or something like that. But you have the will, you have the desire to go after it. And it's like, you do that because you now realize there's no more illusions. The illusions have been removed. You're standing in your truth. Okay, there's no more if you see, she's got two swords here and she has her arms crossed. Anyone that has their arms crossed like that, it's like a pattern that you watch for. okay, when you are dealing with other people. When you're talking to someone, now it's not always going to be true, but it is a big trigger. When you're talking to someone, if they cross their arms like that, that is a sign of deception. Okay, so what I'm getting here with this deception, it's like, because it's in reverse, it's like anything that you knew as truth before, all of that was deception, and your mask is now getting ready to come off, or your blindfold. Okay, you're going to be able to see everything clearly that you need to see and move forward on this new path with so much fire and happiness. It's a lot of drive. Okay, I love this. Where would you like for me to go, please? Okay, we're going to go somewhere else. Where are we going? Was it here? Here. Okay, so we're going to go to the oracle. Tell me more. What is the... Okay, thank you. What do we have? Fate, detours, divine intervention. I'm telling you guys, this is absolutely amazing. Yeah, there is, whether it is in the past or it's getting ready to happen, you're going to make this choice, most of you watching this, to walk away from that situation. Okay, totally remove yourself from that situation. Or this could be a thought process, again, could be what you were taught when you were children all your life, and now you're waking up to something that's going to really put a lot of fire, okay, in your belly, in your bottom, and you're going to be like, you know what, I'm doing this, I'm going for it, this is my new purpose, this is what, this is what I feel like I'm supposed to do now, that kind of thing. But yeah, you have fate. It's like divine intervention. And I feel like, again, that's this Knight of Swords coming in. Remember, I was hearing Savior. So it's like the divine coming in and saying, hey, it's time. There's the sword. It's time that you see the truth. And I'm coming in fast, and I'm going to help you see that this is no longer good for you. Okay? Yeah. Okay, what else, please, for the collective? What else for the collective, please? Thank you. Some of you have struggled with this decision for a very long time. Some of you may have been holding on. I did that too, so don't feel bad, okay? Don't feel bad if you did. Take that as a lesson. Just a lesson learned. We can't go back and change anything, but what we can do is we can learn from our mistakes. Yeah, see, the cards are not coming out yet, so that's definitely an indicator. Yeah, see, look past. Look at that lack, suffering. Many of you went through that a very long time. Collective. And some of you are still in that, but should you make the choice to move forward, okay, you already know the outcome here. Look, we have fulfillment wish. Look at that. Look at that. That's what this Ace of Wands, this new beginning. Should you choose to no longer allow that energy, whatever this is that made you feel like you were walking on eggshells, should you accept what the divine is bringing in for you that's fated, okay? If you accept that, you're going to find complete fulfillment here. A wish being granted. Look at this, twin flames. Some of you, this Ace of Wands could be a brand new relationship that's going to bring in a lot of fulfillment, okay? Because the Ace of Wands, the wands that can mean romance as well. I'm not seeing a whole lot of romance here, okay? Because with the Emperor, I wasn't really getting that kind of vibe, okay? I got what I got. So, but for a few of you, it could be an actual twin flame soulmate type connection coming through. Okay, more from that deck? No. Okay, where would you like for me to go? Okay, here. So we're going to a different tarot deck. Thank you, Spirit. What would you like to tell the collective, please? What would you like to tell the collective? Thank you. What do we have? King of Wands. Love it. Okay, please give me more. What is this King of Wands? Give me more. What is this King of Wands? Whoa. Hold on. Spirit is just spitting these out everywhere. What do we have? Justice. Check it out. Justice. Okay. So I feel like, let me make sure. Spirit, Holy Divine, who is the King of Wands? Collective. Okay, so the King of Wands is representing the collective in this reading. Okay, so here you are, one king up against the Emperor, who is all four kings. Okay, so that means, and look, I did not even think about that. Look where I laid it on the Seven of Swords. I said earlier, strategy. This is going to require so much strategy. Or if you've already left this situation, you're going to know it required a lot of strategy to overcome and get your justice from this situation of what or whomever this emperor means for you. Okay. Now, it wasn't easy. But I do know this King of Wands. Now I know he's upright, but I also know that when he's in the reverse, this King of Wands is not somebody to be messed with. Okay, this King of Wands can be absolutely ruthless. So I feel like, collective, you had to create some kind of exit plan. Now, I don't mean that specifically physically, although it could be for some of you. But I feel like you had to strategize in your mind more so, okay? Like a king would, of how to get your justice in the correct manner, okay? And by that, I mean allowing the divine to help you, being careful about how you react to this emperor's actions. Some of you may have had to do things behind the scenes. So I'm going to give you an example. Again, just an example. But let's say you are in some kind of abusive type situation. You may have had to have waited until whomever the emperor is went to work or went to their friend's house to call and get information, about an abuse program, or call someone to say, hey, I'm going to need some help getting away from here safely. Again, that's not going to be for everyone. But for some of you, I'm definitely feeling like there's something going on here about having to have some kind of strategic plan or use strategy somehow that may have taken quite some time, because again, you're one king against an emperor who is all four kings combined in one. So this is something that would take some time to do. It's not something you would just instantly pop off and say, hey, you know what? I know exactly what to do. This is something that would take a while. Some of you, it could have been things you had to learn with trial and error with this person, that like learning their ways. And I've been there too, like noticing, okay, if I react to this person, when this person becomes ruthless, if I react in this certain way, this person, it's almost like you might see it as, okay, if I'm nice to this person, or I give this person attention when they act out, but then you start noticing the more you do that, the more that this person has those outbursts. So really, you're not helping the situation, you're enabling the situation. You see what I'm saying? So things like that do take time to understand, what role are you playing? What role is that person playing? And observing a person for a while and thinking, okay, wait a minute. Okay, so I need to stop doing this because it is keeping me feeling like I am walking on eggshells all the time. But to do this, not only do I have to take accountability for, my role in it, And that's not saying you're a bad person. Absolutely not. This whole thing of being in the 3D is learn for soul growth. Okay, teach and learn. That's all this is. Nothing about being perfect was ever mentioned. Okay, nothing. So don't take that as you're not a good person. Okay, so what I feel like Spirit's saying, you had to strategize, which took some time, but eventually you did do this correctly, or you're going to be doing something correctly here. Either you walking away or this person, because the emperor has his back turned, okay, to you. So either you walk away or the emperor could also walk away. But regardless, you will ultimately receive your divine justice here. Okay, more from this deck? Yes. Okay, what else for the collective? Very interesting. Okay, hold on. We've got 3 cards that fell out. Okay. We have, yes, see, we have the 9 of Swords. There you go. Lots and lots of anxiety. That came out with the 7 of Cups. And King of Pentacles. Okay, and who is the King of Pentacles? Okay, this is also representing the collective. This is after this situation. Okay, so after you, see, okay, so after you have released being bound to this person, place, situation, okay, and you have had some kind of a fire ignited within you, okay, for a brand new journey full of passion, desire, whether it's a person, whether it's a purpose, a mission, and you see the truth of your situation and you begin seeing, oh my gosh, this is fulfillment. This is my fulfillment now. This is my divine justice, right? Okay. But, and I'll just use it as a soulmate, okay, just for an example to explain it easily. So then it's like all of a sudden you start seeing, you've got your head in the clouds here, okay? This person's floating up to the cloud, up in the clouds, right? Floating away. You have the 9 of Swords. That's a lot of anxiety with the King of Pentacles. So this person, or this could be a job again, but if it's a person, we're going to use the love example, okay? If it's a person, this is someone who's very financially stable, or someone who is in the process of becoming financially stable, someone who is concerned about building a strong, sturdy foundation. So, even if they, may not be sturdy at the moment, they are building. Okay. This is a builder type energy who's always building, always wanting that solid structure, no cracks. Okay. This is also someone very grounded, also someone very nurturing in the upright. Okay. So I feel like there's some kind of fear here going on because of the past, about what you have went through with this person that made you feel like you stood on eggshells, okay, that you felt like you was always looking over your shoulder with this person, okay. And I'm gonna pull some more information on this, but I feel like this is more just thinking. It's thoughts, okay. It's not reality. Okay, Spirit, give me more. Tell me where we're going. Okay, same deck. Okay, what is this King of Pentacles? Tell me the realness of this King of Pentacles for the collective. Who is this King of Pentacles, please? Thank you. These? Yes, yes. Okay, thank you. We have, oh my gosh, we have another 7 of Swords, reverse upright. Knight of Cups. Okay, I'm going to get more. Okay, 7 of Swords, that's twice. Okay, that you had the 7 of Swords here with this deck. Okay. Well, if I can get it, come on. Well, I can't pick it up, but you've got 2 7 of swords, but this is a new situation coming in. Okay. So I feel like what Spirit's saying here is you are in fear of this. You're going to have some kind of new offer that could be your wish fulfillment here. Spirit's plainly saying this is your wish fulfillment, but because you're doing so much thinking, or you're going to be doing so much thinking about your past, the suffering, okay, the 9 of swords, a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of anxiety. You're fearing that this is going to be a repeat. Okay, let's get more. Same deck. Okay, no, go to other. Where would you like? Okay, here, thank you. Okay, tell me the reality. Tell me the reality of this King of Pentacles. Tell me about this King of Pentacles, please. King of Pentacles for the collective. Thank you. All right, silence. Frozen. No words. Stone wall. Okay. I'm not sure yet if this is you or if this is the King of Pentacles, person that's coming in. Okay, tell me more about this silence. Who is this silence? Is this the King of Pentacles? Or is this collective? Tell me more about this silence, please. Trapped, stuck, captive. I'm telling you, there's the devil right there, the devil energy. Okay, so I really feel like, collective, this is you. This is you in fear of repeating a cycle with someone who's actually coming in that could give you fulfillment. I definitely feel like this is being in your head too much, a lot of thoughts too much, okay? Okay, give me more, please. Tell me more about this King of Pentacles for the collective. Thank you. Now, what do we have? Boundaries. No, drawing the line. Enough. Okay, so I feel like what Spirit's saying here is, listen, if it's a romantic or a friend relationship, even a work relationship, okay, whatever this King of Pentacles is for you, okay, it is okay and necessary to set boundaries so that you don't feel trapped. But it's also necessary, guys, if you feel like you have a stone wall up, if you feel like, let's say you feel like, well, I'm never going to be in a relationship, a romantic relationship again, as far as love is concerned. I'm never going to commit to another person again. If you are feeling like that, and then that comes towards you, I feel like Spirit's saying there needs to be a time of healing here, okay? Especially if this is fresh. There needs to be some healing, some releasing, and understanding. The longer that you hold on to the past, the longer that person or situation continues to keep you stuck, keep you trapped, okay? And just realize that if you set boundaries, whether it's a new job, new person, you set boundaries, that person oversteps their boundaries, okay, then there's a flag right there. There's a big red flag. But if they don't, that's different, right? That's going to show you something completely different that maybe you're not used to. Maybe you're used to people overstepping your boundaries. Okay? But either way, boundaries are going to be absolutely necessary, not only to help you feel safe, but also to let the other person understand, what they will take, what they will accept, and what they won't. Okay, so it works both ways. That way, if two people mutually respect each other, and mutual respect definitely has to be in any kind of relationship. Doesn't matter what kind. Okay. If two people mutually respect each other, then they're not going to cross those lines. Period. But that also brings in a sense of safety for both sides. Okay. Love that. Okay, Spirit, Holy Divine, what else, please? Here. Okay, we're going to go to the animal spirits. Let's see. Holy Spirit, what would you like to tell the collective? What spirit animal is with them at this time? What spirit animal? What spirit animals do we have? The cards are not coming out yet again. So this is a spirit animal that's actually been with you for quite some time for this situation. I'm talking years. Yeah, see, still not coming out. Years. So what that's telling me is there's going to be a new spirit guide that will be coming in soon, swapping out with the spirit animal that comes out very soon. Look at there. Yeah, B. Okay. And just so you know, if you're new, I do not read the oracle in the reverse. So we have B, productivity. It is time to examine your productivity. Disorganization and indecisiveness may be causing you to miss opportunities. Take a moment to prioritize your goals and get a clear view of how to get where you want to go and what it will take to get there. Okay, I'm going to put this up here just in case. I know some people like to screenshot. There you go. So, here with the disorganization, the indecisiveness, okay, that's the same thing as, floating in the clouds. The card that we had earlier, the guy floating up with all the balloons, right, up to the sky. So, again, I feel like that spirit saying, just make sure that with the boundaries, not staying in your head, staying focused, begin prioritizing what is most important to you. Remove any type of stone walls that you have with your heart, your mind, your spirit, okay? Make sure that you take action towards any kind of healing if you haven't done so already. Is there anything else, Spirit? Anything else for the collective on this reading? Anything else? That is it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and end this. Thank you so much, lovely collective, for joining in. I'm sending you so much love, happiness, and success. As always, my friends, find your miracle in everything. If we look hard enough, we will find it. Much love.